Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the part 13 of the series of video I'm doing on System Center Configuration Manager current branch. So in this video, we'll be installing our configuration manager. So in the previous videos, I actually did install our SQL server, install our Azure server, and also install all the prerequisites we need to install and configure the configuration manager. So what I need to do, first of all, I need to check if I meet all the requirements. So what I need to do is, let me start the command prompt as an administrator. To run that as administrator, just click yes. Then let me go to File Explorer and then go to my C drive. Here you can see I have my config manager folder, and I'm going to go to my SMS setup, and here I'm going to go to bin and the system 4. I'm going to search for prerequisite check, and I'm going to just click shift and then copy that as part, and then press enter. Here I'm going to enter slash, and I'm going to do local. So what you are going to do is actually this. So we're going to check if this device meet the requirement to be able to install config manager, because if it does not meet the requirement and we start the installation process, we're going to get an error message. So let me just hit enter, and you can see, so it will try to check all the different configuration and see if we've installed like our SQL server or the server roles we need to install, our Azure server. So it's going to check everything step by step, and you can see if we meet that requirement. So you can see all the dependencies, checking the access permission to see if everything is okay. So if all went well and we did not receive any error message, then you can see it says all the required prerequisite tests have completed successfully. So what I need to do right now is, let me just close this, and then let me go back again to the config folder, and now we need to click on the splash. Let me bring this to the center. So we need to click on splash to start the installation process. So just double click on that. You can see the Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager is trying to start. So here it says install. So we can download the required prerequisite site files to a specific folder before we can actually start the installation process. So let me just try to click install. I'm going to say yes. So it's going to start the installation process. So it says this is before you begin. Let me just click next, and it says okay, we're going to install a configuration manager on this device. So here we can actually just use this typical, but I want to actually show you all the installation, all the process, because by not selecting this, it's going to show me all the different process we need to configure. So let me just select next. Here it says install the license edition of this product. I don't have a license. I'm going to actually use the evaluation, which is valid for 180 days. So I'm going to say next. Here we need to accept the license terms for all 3 license terms before we can actually proceed with the installation process. So click next. So here it says, where do you want to download the required file? So what I need to do is, I'm going to actually just browse to my C drive. Let me just try to create a new folder. First of all, let me select the C drive, and let me just create a new folder here and call this let me just call this downloads, and then select that and say okay. So we can use a previously downloaded file, but let me just download everything there and then click next. So right now it's going to take some time, but it's going to download. You can see we have about 48. Okay, let me go to the file, go to my C drive, and here we have the download. You can see that it started downloading all the required files we need to proceed with the installation process. So let me just pause this video and come back again when all the files has been downloaded. So now you see all the files, the required files has been downloaded, and you see it has already selected English, but we can actually select some other language if we think it is necessary. But for this training, I'm only going to select English and then click next. says here we says enable all languages for mobile device client. Let me just click next. So here it says specify a site code that unique identifies this configuration manager site in your hierarchy. So most of the time you want to actually enter a code that meets the site requirement. For example, I'm doing this video from Belgium. If for example the office where I'm doing this video, maybe for the where I'm trying to install this config manager is in Brussels, so you want to enter the site tree code like the BROU, or for example if it is in London you want to enter LON, you know. So that's how you actually do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just enter BROU, and then for the site name I'm going to enter Kelv Global, let's say Kelv Global Primary Site. And then for the installation folder, I think we're just going to leave that to remain the same. And here it says install the configuration manager console. Of course we want to install the configuration manager console, which is very, very important. So just click next. It says join the primary site to an existing hierarchy. No, we just want to install the primary site as a standalone site, so we're going to say next. So you have selected to install this site as a standalone site. You can expand the site into a hierarchy at a later time by installing the central administration site. You want to continue, so you just need to click yes. So select yes, and here you can see the SQL name, server name, which is correct, and the database name, which is also correct. So just click next. So it says part of the SQL Server data file and part of the SQL Server log file. So I'm going to leave this to the default. I'm just going to say next. Here it says that the SMS provider, the fully qualified domain name, you can see that's correct. So we're going to say yes. So here it says configuration manager site roles can accept HTTP or HTTPS communication from client. So all site system roles accept only HTTPS communication from client, but let's configure the communication method on each site system role. We can also just check on client will use HTTPS when they have a valid PKI certificate and HTTPS enabled site roles are available. So we're going to select this because, you know, in one of my previous video I actually configured the PKI certificate, and also if we're not going to be using the HTTPS, we need to actually configure select the configure the communication method on each site system role. So let's just click next. Here you can say install a management point, and here we're going to select, say okay, which of the management points you want to install is going to be HTTPS or HTTP. So for now I'm just going to select HTTP, and also for the client connection I'm going to select HTTP, but we can actually change from HTTP to HTTPS later during the training process. But I'm going to select HTTP because you don't want to bother yourself, for example, with the PKI certificate configuration and all the rest. So let me just click next, and here I'm just going to just click next. And you can see let's get connected, recommended. So it says use a proxy server when synchronizing information from the internet, but at this moment we are not going to use any proxy server. So I'm just going to click next. Here you can see this is our component details and our setup component, so you can just scroll down to check if everything is properly configured, and then we can just click next to start. So it's actually going to check if I meet the requirement again once more. And because I've already done a prerequisite check, I know that I meet all the requirements, and you can see that it's trying to see if all when the SQL server I got a warning, and that was correct. If you can remember, during the configuration, the installation of our SQL server, we do got a firewall warning. So let me just pause this video and come back again when we've actually, okay, here it says the prerequisite checking has completed, which means that we don't have any error message. We can now begin the installation process. So the installation process is going to take some time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video and then come back again when the installation has been completed, and then we can open our configuration manager. So here you can see that my configuration manager has actually completed. So everything went fine without any error message. So if I scroll down, you can see that the installation process have been completed, and these are all the components and everything that have been installed on this configuration manager. So what I need to do here, I can have the opportunity to view logs file, that is the installation process. So let me just click on that and see. So we can actually see the process, the downloading of the language pack and everything. And if I scroll down here, you can see the setup downloaded and finished. So we didn't receive any error message. So let me just click close, and now we can actually exit, and then we can just go to the start menu, and here you can see we have the configuration manager console. So let me just open the configuration manager console and see if everything goes well. So if your installation went well without any issue, you should be able to start your configuration manager without any problem. So in the next video, we are going to actually configure our primary site. So what we need to do now is to actually configure our site properties, and I will going to take you over to our configuration manager and just give you a general overview. Thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more IT videos. Please click on the next video to watch about how I configure our site properties. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye.